What's your
Spend a
thought?
lot of time reeling people in.
What's your thoughts on hooks in a sense of some people say, you know what, I don't even write them down because if I can't remember it, it's not worth remembering because it's not hooky enough. Like a
No,
melody.
I disagree. If I can't remember it, it only means that all my days are rolled into one, like yours. So that's
Or I
the
can't
only reason.
remember it because my brain's just old and tired, and it's like, no, I gotta write it down. Like, what am I doing
Yeah.
next? Oh yeah, lunch. Write it down.
Exactly. I don't write them actually. I most of the time I just do a quick recording
Yeah.
and that's it. And even that's pretty much it. The only problem is when you grow older, it's kind of hard to remember that. Oh, by the way, there's lots of recordings that you've done on your phone. You need to go back and check them out. That's the challenge. Nothing else.
It's a very real thing.
I don't remember doing this.
That's funny. Very funny.
How are you? How was your week going?
Doing great. It's a little wild, but good. Yeah, and I mean, I hate being that guy, but I do have a physical appointment at some point at noon that I have to actually get to physically.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
I do at some point would jump off, would disappear, but other than that, things are good. Trying to stay ahead of whatever is happening, right? Just trying to make sure that we're one step in the future if we can. In the words of the wise and great Vlad over here.
Love that.
The words of Sir Vlad.
Sir Vlad, that's got a kind of ring to it, isn't it?
Now that is the song title. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, got a song title and an artist name.
All in one.
5 minutes. This is what happens.
Our MasterMind success.
Okay, be careful. Like, I'm literally gonna go buy that domain right now.
SirVlad.com.
Been there, done that.
I know, right?
You know how many domains I own that sit there collect dust?
I know. Okay, so I guess you and I do the same thing. Like, so have you gone back? So like, have you listed them just to see the value of some of them, how they go?
Of course. Yeah. I even sold 2 of them, made a little bit of money.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Are you off now? Do you do that?
Oh yeah, I'm holding on to a few of them, and yeah, I started. I think 2000. Shoot, what year did Twitter start?
Well, now you're testing us. This is almost like a general knowledge quiz as well.
I know. I was early on Twitter.
Generational question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, my brother worked for them like before they even went in, before they got public, before they even went international.
Oh, wow.
I think it was a year that I started collecting domains. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I've started doing a thing which is where you tell me what has been your high of the week and your challenge of the week so far.
Ooh.
It helps just to take 5, just to like take stock of where you're at midweek.
Let me see. So did you want me to go first, or do you want? I'll go last.
Yeah, no, you go first, just because you spoke.
Because you're on the screen.
Exactly that. You're on my screen, so.
Wow. That is a hard, like a very hard one. I'm literally scrolling through a bunch of stuff right now because at this point every challenge kind of like occupies the same, once it crosses over a certain threshold. Yes. Wow.
I can
That
help
is
you.
actually
I
wow.
never
I did
knew
not realize that was.
the question.
I did not realize that was gonna be that hard. Um,
It means you're living a happy life. You don't have any challenges if nothing pops up.
Yeah, yeah. I could probably reel 10 off like without even thinking.
you know, challenges, man. Wow. Okay. I'm work or because everything is happening at the same time, right? I had maybe an epiphany this morning where I figured out that if it's all happening at the same time, then my challenge that I need to overcome and kind of really get a grasp on is be more effective, do more in less time.
I've been trying to strive for that, God. Forever. I'm always trying to do that. And sometimes I'm like, do I need to come to the realization? Do I need to come to a point of acceptance that maybe I'm just never gonna reach that?
Unless you want to sleep faster.
Exactly. So that led me, and I don't share ideas in the earliest stage in my head, but I'm actually gonna do that because sometimes you just don't know.
Yeah.
If we're all, if I'm dealing with this really doing more in less time, it has to lead to some way of or some kind of formula or some kind of method that maybe combines a bunch of different methods or hasn't, I don't know, but that can address a certain level of productivity, right? Like, I don't know.
Mm,
If I can plug in every single thing I have,
mm.
obviously AI, but I'm not, I don't want to.
Delve into that.
And
Yeah.
right. Or be like, oh, just jump on the AI bandwagon, right? Just say, okay, not bandwagon. Let me maybe different word there. Switch.
I know what you mean.
And if I can, if it can lead to a creation of some sort of method or tool, then that if it works really well for me, then could work for somebody else. And if it worked for that person, maybe it could work for a few others.
Yeah, definitely. Well, if you figured that out, definitely let me know for sure. I definitely want to know. Is that a high and a challenge all rolled
It
in?
is. It is. It is. Wow. That is actually harder than I thought to answer, right? The high part, especially, because, man, can I come back?
Of course,
Okay.
yeah. Vlad's like, oh, I'm so glad you give me time to think now. It's always hardest to go first, isn't it? Because you have no time to be able to think on it.
Eh, sometimes you don't have to think. The best stuff sometimes that comes out is when you don't think before you answer.
Yep.
Yes.
And that answer may be the only right one. I mean, in my case, it's all the same. There's no highs and there's no lows. On the high side, as I mentioned already, probably I'm kind of working as a bulldozer.
Yeah, I know. I
Collect,
remember saying
getting
yesterday how nuts it is for you at the moment.
yeah, getting some new connections like on a daily basis, pretty much. And that's on the high side. I feel like that's something that is going to lead to some positive outcomes. It's a hard work. God, I forgot when I was doing something like that long time ago, probably. But it's all good. And the thing is, and I guess I'm partially answering Othniel's question. Always try to look at everything that you do as a process, right? Find the reusable moments so that you can automate certain parts. Very
Mm-hmm.
cognizant. One needs to be very cognizant about what could be easily automated without like
Yes.
really thinking, and
Yeah.
what requires a thought. So like as if you were going through some sort of a checklist each and every time you need to do the same sort of process procedure,
Mhm.
right? So if the first three you automate, the number four you can't automate until you kind of give it a thought,
Yep.
and off you go. And that saves a lot of time, I noticed, right?
Yes.
Because you just keep make sure that the creativity part is not getting lost in
Yeah.
that automation. That's the only thing. That's the only challenge. And
Mm.
it works when you start looking at it from this perspective. Like imagine a
Mhm.
big, I don't know, cabinet with lots of shelves, right? So, and virtually you put everything in a particular shelf, and then you just, pull this from that shelf, that from that shelf.
Yep.
And but before you're putting them together, you think, okay, I am I repeating myself? That's not a cookie cutter. This requires some sort of a different approach. Okay, let's think about it, but everything else stays the same. Off you go.
Yep.
Mm.
On the flip side, I guess, yeah, those briefs that we get that are like almost have a yesterday as a deadline.
It's funny how you say that because we've got 3 of them right now that we're just 2 of them are going out right now, urgent again.
Yeah. I was thinking about that actually. It would be great. I mean, it's great if you have a huge library where you can pull stuff out of, but at the same time, it doesn't give you any chance to write to the brief.
No.
Uh, yeah, it was kind of sad because that fashion brief, I almost have a song ready, but it's not going to be ready by the deadline for sure.
Yeah.
We are getting in, which you're probably seeing for yourself. We are getting in a lot of that similar style. There's a lot of similar
Mhm.
trends coming through
True.
right now. We're seeing some trends. So it's also looking at that and being like, right, there's clearly quite a few this is trending right now. So the fact
Yeah.
Totally agree. Totally agree. So I look at those briefs as a learning opportunity and
Mhm.
statistical opportunity, just to collect the data.
yeah,
If you can't meet it, at least you
Make
put it
it.
in the
Yeah.
you put it in the right bucket, and then you just check it out. Yeah, for sure. So
yeah,
that's that's the right thing to do.
yeah. So I wanted to Linda, quickly, what's your high and low?
Oh, I never have lows, Amelia. I just live in paradise here.
I'm moving way
Wait a second. You're back from Mexico. Are you sure?
I'm still in paradise. It's a frame of mind, Vlad. It's a frame
Oh,
of
there
mind.
you go. There you
Okay.
go.
That's a whole song right there as well.
Could somebody record that? Because I won't remember. uh, it's been a good week. It's been there's been frustrations where after days of frustration, all of a sudden it's like, boom, I could not have come out with an outcome that good. So that's been very cool. So, but my struggle is like everybody else, I think, with my time and stuff. And what I just started this week, and I actually got it after we did our goals back in November, December. I've seen this on Amazon, who I'm not supporting now, but I was then. And it's a self journal that breaks your goals down for 26 weeks. And it's really actionable. And I quite like that. So I've just started trying to apply that. But of course, balancing my time for different roles is consistently, it gets away from me, and I'm not sure how to do that differently and still achieve what I want to achieve. So that's I try and keep it that. There's that one mindset. I read a book years ago that called The One Thing, and try and get up in the morning, and the philosophy of that is, out of all the list of things you have to do, what is the one thing? If you just got it off your plate, it would make all the other ones either unnecessary or manageable. So you try and figure out what that one thing is each day and tackle it first. And I find that helpful. But a high for me, besides getting into a really nice, cute doctor yesterday after years of frustration on the was I've been following disco quite quickly or closely. I mean, we all do, but I know with our World Fusion catalog, there's so many lyrics are missing. and I know how critical they can be in supervisor searches. And I'd seen a post last week that Katrina had did on LinkedIn saying, you know, if you guys don't know the value of your lyrics, here's a story. And it was a big brief. It was like 150 grand or something. And they found the song. It was an obtrusive little song, but the lyrics were, and the tone was exactly what they were looking for, and they were able to grab it. And she says, and in saying that, so if you don't have your lyrics, don't forget, we now have that as a feature in disco. And I'd been following that, hadn't seen it actually, and I'd messaged a girl after Mark's Sync Summit, because she was talking about it being available now. So I messaged Katrina over the weekend, and I said, okay, I keep hearing about it, but I can't see it. What do you got to do? And she said, well, if you got Discovery Suite, you've got it. I said, I got it. She says, then all we have to do is initiate it. And I said, oh, okay, please do so. And so this morning, even for that, the brief this morning, it was one of the ones that came up. It was from our catalog, but the lyrics weren't there. And I opened it up to see if the lyrics were aligned with the brief. And all of a sudden it said, there are no lyrics. Would you like us to do that? And I said, yes, please. And it was tickety boo, tickety boo, tickety boo, and it was there.
Yeah.
So that was the high up until Wednesday at 1 o'clock. So I would, it was very cool. And then it rates the lyrics, whether they feel it's, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was a little thing, not 100% sure, 100% sure or something. So, but I reviewed what they had, and it's like, yeah, they got them all right. And apparently it's supposed to be able to do it in different languages. So that will be interesting, because so much of our catalog is Spanish. So it's cool little discovery.
Cool. Yeah.
I would say high is I've been putting in a lot of hours training up the new staff members, and it's really starting to pay now, because it's really helping a lot for us. Got a super duper person from the UK who's just helping in so many different areas, which is making my life a bit easier, everyone's life a bit easier. I would say that's a high. I would say a challenge is I'm not naturally the most structured, organized. A lot of people have actually told me to get tested because they think I've got ADHD. So that's one thing I really struggle with, is like consistent flows of things and organizational structure of things. And I get really frustrated with myself because I really want to be that and do that, and I'm just not that. No matter how many times I try and try with different systems and things, and I do it for a little while and then it just goes out the window again. So I've been feeling really frustrated about that recently. But I guess this is why I hire people that can make up from the areas that I'm crap at. So
you should hire my my AI assistant, Claude.
I am my AI Claude.
He's pretty good guy.
So you can sort out like literally everything, my life.
Maybe half.
Database, everything. Like, I think also just pinning down and having set days for things as well, and I think might really help me, because I don't know if you find this, but I flip so many different tasks all the time on a daily basis, and if I didn't, I would probably struggle to get everything done, and flitting between stuff all the time.
They're all connected, right?
Yeah, they're all connected. But there's sometimes I go to do a task and I'm like, my brain has just stopped working. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. I don't even know what my name is right now. Like, what? It's just like that complete, utter brain fog. I'm like, is this an age thing? Is this an ADHD thing? Am I just doing too much? Yeah.
And I think in what I'm getting from working with you, Amelia, too, is you have to be able to do that, because when those briefs come in, you have to drop everything else, or else we're not serving the customer, we're not serving the members, we're not serving ourselves. So so that gets challenging too, because I do like my lists and my structure, and then all of a sudden they go out the window again for the third time today. Yeah. But I think if you can't do that, you can't be doing what you do.
So what's your, I wonder, what's your process when you get the brief? What do you do?
We send
we
it out
usually go
possible. we send it out as quick as possible because a lot of the times they're very sensitive timelines. So if we don't get it out submitted in time, then we could forget it. Like it's missed completely. So I would say the main thing is pulling it together to be able to send it out to the platform, and we track everything as well. So yeah. It could be a mixture of each. First of all, it could be depending on who's working on it as well and their way of working. But typically, we try and get it out on the platform and then track it, and then start to track all the submissions coming in.
A lot of moving parts at all times.
Interesting. Yeah,
But I can attest that when we almost as soon as we get them or Amelia gets them, you guys have them probably within on average 10 to 15 minutes because they don't sit on anybody's desk for long.
And this is another reason why we have like the UK side and also US Canadian side. So it doesn't matter which time zone, there's always someone to jump on that, because it's a huge part of what we do, massive. So of course we got to have that covered, and we get it out as soon as possible. Like even my staff member right now in UK, she's having to stay later after already doing an 8-hour day because we just had some urgent briefs and she's got to get them out regardless. Like it's just the way it works. Even on a weekend, I said to her like, hey, if it comes in on a weekend, we got to jump on that. Got to jump on it. Got to send it out no matter what. It's not a 9-to-5 job. And so anyone coming in, this first thing I tell them, like, this is almost like a lifestyle. It's like a lifestyle. It's not a job.
Yeah, it is. I agree.
Did you ever try to calculate just to translate that effort into dollars? The effort to basically receive, process the brief from A to Z into the dollars.
I don't think we've ever.
I'd be surprised if you did.
No, I don't think we've ever really taken that time to sit down.
Just try to look at it.
But
try to look at it, and maybe let me know later sometime whenever you get some numbers.
Yeah,
that's a great one because for us that would be the cogs technically. If I were, at least when I get it right. But I don't know, maybe I'll go back to like what then for me, I don't, he's asking a very specific business question. I'll go back to what it costs me to get to the point to be able to answer your brief.
And then the question becomes, all right, so it costs me, I'm just throwing the numbers, from the sky. Let's say it costs $50 a day, for example, right? Let's see what it costs over a period of time, such as usually, let's take it a year, for instance, right? So more or less, this is the amount that's being spent on this tiny little process, right? Now, what would it take to invest a little bit of money into automating this process through the systems, right? And see if it's going to work or not. To me, it sounds like it's very doable. I mean, shouldn't be a big deal, right? And shouldn't cost much either. It's not like crazy something. And that's what I usually try to do. Right, little things like that. If you can automate them, because they're annoying, no one likes doing them. It's just.
I think with some of the steps on the brief, though, is you need human ears listening to those songs and making a decision on them, because there's
on the return, right?
Oh, you mean on the return side?
Yeah.
But sending it
return
out.
side, like when they come in, it's fairly simple. It's copy paste, put it on the thing, and get it in the tracker, and everybody be ready for the briefs to come in. But
Yeah.
once those, or the playlists rather, but once those playlists come in, I don't think there's much. You might be able to automate something that says, oh, his meta's or his is really great, but the actual listening has to be human ears
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
kind of
Mm.
has knowledge of what's being asked or being looked for. So
It's a maybe.
automation.
It
Yeah.
may change at some point.
Yeah.
You're right.
Actually.
You
Right.
know what, Vlad, you're getting into something. Like, I am a little bit of a crazy automator, but I'm also a fidgeter, meaning that I'm constantly trying to improve.
Mhm.
So, like, literally almost on a daily basis, I would change a word in an automatic response that like, or be like, no, to this, it's like, and yes, it saves a stupid amount of time, like an insane amount of time.
Well, what I'm trying to say, Neil, is there's certain processes that do not require human judgment, such as
Mm-hmm.
receive briefs and distribute the
Yeah.
briefs among the men. Huh?
It's just a process. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this one doesn't require any human interaction, period. Right? So this one could easily be automated, and everyone's gonna be so much happier. Submitting to the brief is a different story, of
Yeah.
course, but something tells me, without saying too much, that this could also be, over time, there might be a solution for that too.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe as simple as adding incoming email, adding a label to that email automatically sends it to all the right people, or even like.
No, I'm talking about something else. I'm talking about responding to the brief as well, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, so even today, certain AI models
Mm-hmm.
work magic.
Do you use Zapier or no?
Yeah,
No. So basically,
I do.
I'll just open, I'll just open a little bit of.
Yeah, give me a solution.
No, it's not there yet, but so far it might, it might appear sooner than we think.
Develop one.
So
Someone, please.
there's a one custom AI model that I'm testing, produced by a bunch of folks, or a company, you can say. So that model, you can just throw an audio file at this model, and it gets you back a kaboom of metadata, gazillion of things. The mood, it transcribes the lyrics, analyzes the lyrics, give you lyrical themes, and then it provides all kinds of recommendations of where would it be a fit, a
Mm-hmm.
good fit, and so on and so forth. So this is just a very premature stage of this particular model, but even what it does at the moment, and I'm testing it, as I said, it's just, I'm surprised.
Wow.
Now, I am very skeptical about AI checks and controls. So AI you can't trust it yet, right?
No,
Because it could
that's
throw a
what's
whole bunch of
me.
BS at you, and it will
And
do
it
it
sounds
so
like
confidently.
perfect. Yeah, it sounds.
Exactly, like all kinds of BS that and it does it with such a confidence that you think, oh, so
Yep.
you start challenging it, and it very quickly flips and says, oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm so
Yeah, you're right. You're actually right. Like, yes,
I've
damn, of
seen
course I'm
that.
right.
I'm Sir Vlad. What did you expect?
I'm so flat.
Man, it's like you're reading my computer screen right now. I literally just told Claude that you were wrong. Like, not like, because I knew the answer before asking him.
Just please don't swear at her, because she may start teasing you.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually true.
I'm not actually kidding. I'm serious.
Mm-hmm.
If you start misbehaving with certain models, those models could actually start acting in such a way, just to tease you.
Yep.
Okay.
Like, seriously, just to throw more BS at you, which
Mm-hmm.
is amazing.
Yeah, I think I could definitely could do with some kind of analysis of what could actually be automated. Does something like that exist? Like, hey, here's
Mhm,
what we currently do. Here's what's like done manually. What can be integrated to automate that? Does that exist?
mhm. You probably can, yes.
Well, yeah. I use I know you. I think I just said it. Zapier. It
Mhm,
integrates into every single thing I do, like everything,
mhm.
Maybe I
and
need
they have a fantastic. I'm sorry.
maybe I need to learn a bit more because I know it's been used to set up some sequences and things. We're going to start automating some of the new onboarding because that's just very repetitive tasks.
Yeah.
We're using Zapier for that. Zapier.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, they have the free version, even the free version alone, right, does a lot. And then the premium ones, I think they link to more apps than a lot of other services out there. And then you can write your own code and give it to Zapier, and then it would also do what you want. Yeah.
because that's the thing, I think it's
But
learning what is actually available because there's so much available, but we just don't like. You guys are techie, but say for me and Linda, like it's learning what is actually out there that can actually be used. It's just learning that we just don't really know.
there's one key, Amelia, for that.
Mm.
Before you can even go and ask for somebody to educate you on that, like, which is what you're just saying. Yeah, we want to learn, but we don't know where and how. You first need to make sure that you ask all the right questions. And in order to do so, I suggest the process that you're trying to look into, automating needs to be very well defined on paper,
Yeah.
like step by step.
Hmm.
It needs to be super well defined,
Mm.
right? So it's basically like to the point where here's that use case. This is step one. This is step two.
Yep.
This is
Yep.
step three that we do, and so on, right? Until the successful result, right? And then maybe spend another 10 minutes on the unsuccessful result, like those are also happen,
Mhm.
and that's about it. When you have something like that documented, that becomes so much more easier to explain to anything and anyone, and I mean AI or a person, right? Okay, this is my process. How can I automate it, right? So that makes everyone's life so much easier,
Mm.
and
Sure.
yours to start with.
Mm.
All right, you guys. I
Yeah.
do have to disappear.
Okay, no problem. We might jump off a bit earlier tonight just because we got these urgent briefs sort out and we don't have any automation, so we have to manually, and otherwise, yeah, my UK worker is already working nearly an hour overtime to work on this. So
Mm.
I did actually have like a whole session planned out, but it kind of took on its own course this evening. But it was
And
very
now you have automated what next week can be like because it is all prepared and waiting.
that's really interesting. You've got my cogs turning now, and I'm just like, this is what I need to spend the whole weekend doing. I need
If
to
you
write.
could get a weekend to do it.
Yeah.
Are you going to departure in Toronto this year, Vlad?
I'm going to be in Toronto probably a few times this year for sure. I have a few
Okay,
things planned.
you don't have plans to go to that departure conference though, or
Not
the
yet.
old
I'm not
meeting?
100% sure, Linda.
Okay.
So my plans are all depend on the whole bunch of different factors but there's no conference that I'm planning to go specifically to.
Okay.
It
I
might
just
happen so
wondered
that
if
I'm
you
going to
were
be there at the same time, but yeah,
okay.
I
I think
have a
it's
few
from the
meetings that.
5th to 9th or something. I'll have to double check my Davy and
Mm,
I are both going to be there anyway.
oh, nice. You guys gonna have fun?
Oh yeah.
I'm sure. I'm
Right till 8 o'clock or so.
Oh, that's like me. I'm definitely heading over for TIFF, 100%. Yeah.
And that's September.
TIFF,
Yeah.
TIFF is later, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, September.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been going there for years. Always come over for that. So
I'm probably going for TIFF too. I'm thinking because I have few things in September that require my presence in Toronto. So
okay.
likely I'll be there.
We are thinking about maybe organizing something while we're there. We're starting to discuss some ideas about potentially putting something together during that time. We're just throwing some ideas back and forth at the moment because I think it would be quite nice to do something, especially because quite a few members based in and around that area. So watch this space. Yes.
That would make lots of sense.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Vlad, thank you for jumping on tonight, and always great advice as well. Thank you for that.
Awesome. Well,
Anytime.
we'll see you all next week.
Yeah, so see you then.